I never expected anything extraordinary to happen in the bathroom that evening. It was an ordinary Tuesday, the kind that slips through your fingers without leaving a mark. Rain tapped softly against the window, the city outside wrapped in a gray hush, and I was home alone, grateful for the quiet after a long day. The bathroom was warm with steam, the mirror fogged from the shower I'd just taken. I wrapped myself in an oversized towel, my hair still dripping, my thoughts blissfully empty. There is something sacred about those moments after a shower, when the world feels paused and you're suspended between who you were and who you're about to be. I was brushing my hair when I heard it, a soft knock. At first, I thought it was the pipes. Our apartment building was old, always groaning and sighing like it had stories to tell. I ignored it and continued brushing, humming absently. Then came another knock, clearer this time, unmistakably on the door. My heart skipped. I wasn't expecting anyone. "Hello," I called, my voice echoing slightly against the tiled walls. No answer. I tightened the towel around me and stepped closer to the door. Another knock came, gentler this time, almost hesitant. For reasons I still can't fully explain, I felt no fear, just curiosity, and something else fluttering low in my chest. When I opened the door, there you stood. You looked as surprised to see me as I was to see you. Your hair was damp from the rain, your jacket darkened at the shoulders, eyes wide like you were afraid I'd disappear if you blinked. "I'm so sorry," you said quickly. "I think I have the wrong apartment." But you didn't move. I laughed softly, partly from relief, partly from the absurdity of the situation. "You're in 4B, I said. Unless you're looking for 4A. You blinked, then smiled, a slow, sheepish smile that felt warmer than it had any right to. That explains a lot. I should have closed the door then. That would have been the sensible thing to do. But instead, I stepped aside. "Do you want to come in for a minute?" I asked, surprising both of us. "You're soaked." You hesitated, glancing down the hallway, then back at me. "Only if I'm not interrupting." "You're not," I said. And somehow, that felt true. You sat on the couch while I changed into dry clothes, the air between us filled with a quiet awareness. When I returned, you were studying the framed photos on the wall, vacations, family gatherings, moments frozen in time. "Nice place," you said. "Thank you," I replied. "So, who were you actually looking for?" "My sister," you said, chuckling. "She just moved in, and I guess I mixed up the numbers." "Funny," I said. "I just moved here too." That felt like the beginning of something, though I didn't know what yet. We talked easily after that. About the building, the neighborhood, the rain that never seemed to stop lately. You had a calm way of speaking, like you weren't in a hurry to be anywhere else. I found myself leaning in, listening more closely than necessary, noticing the way your hands moved when you talked, the way your eyes softened when you smiled. Time slipped by unnoticed. Eventually, you glanced at your watch and stood. "I should probably go before my sister thinks I got lost." I nodded, a strange disappointment tugging at me. "Of course." At the door, you paused. "I'm glad I knocked on the wrong door." "So am I said, and meant it. You smiled again, that same warm, unguarded smile. "Maybe I'll see you around." "I hope so." And then you were gone, the hallway quiet once more. I closed the door and leaned against it, my heart racing like I'd just finished running. I laughed at myself, shaking my head. All that, from a bathroom door. Days passed, then weeks. Life resumed its familiar rhythm, but something had shifted. I found myself listening for footsteps in the hallway, glancing up whenever someone passed my door. And then, one evening, another knock came. This time, I didn't hesitate. You stood there holding a small paper bag, rain once again clinging to your jacket. "I promise I'm at the right door this time," you said. I laughed and stepped aside. "Come in." Inside the bag were pastries from the cafe on the corner. "A peace offering," you said. "For interrupting your bath that night." "I survived," I teased. We sat at the table, sharing pastries and stories. You told me about your work, your family, the reasons you'd come to the city. I told you mine. Conversation flowed effortlessly, as if we were picking up a sentence that had only been paused, not ended. That night became the first of many. We started taking walks together after work, sometimes in silence, sometimes talking until our voices grew hoarse. You learned how I took my coffee, I learned how you always forgot your umbrella. We laughed at the same small things, found comfort in the same quiet moments. Romance didn't arrive all at once. It unfolded gently, like dawn. One evening, months later, we stood in my kitchen, the windows open to a summer breeze. Music played softly from my phone, something slow and familiar. You reached out, hesitating just enough to ask without words. I nodded. Your hand found mine, warm and steady. We swayed slightly, not really dancing, just sharing space. When you looked at me, there was something in your eyes that made my breath catch, not urgency, not heat, but tenderness. I never expected this, you said quietly. Me neither, I replied. You brushed a strand of hair from my face, your touch light, reverent. The moment felt suspended, as fragile and perfect as a held breath. When you kissed me, it was gentle, unhurried, like you had all the time in the world. It felt like coming home. Later, as we sat together on the couch,